you said that you'd be willing to talk to me briefly, and
Yeah, sure.
I could record what you have to say to share with other people who are interested in working with John potentially.
Sure.
So, since I do want to share this with people who don't know you or know any of the background, I want to ask some kind of broad general questions and let you give some of the background, and then I may fill in some details since I do know, some of the historical sequence.
Sure.
But let's back up to what services you were interested in. Why? What led you to contact us?
I've been wanting a garage for forever. I've got an old classic car, and I've only had a carport, so I figured it would be time to get a garage fitted, and so I just kind of Googled carport conversions into garages on Google in Phoenix, and you guys came up, so I gave you guys a call, and the price is right, so that's why I give you guys a call and get it done.
So that was one of the big factors in selecting to work with us was the price, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted a basic garage put in where I could kind of have it done by city code, and then I could just finish up and do the rest myself, the drywall, the painting, etc. But I needed a legal. I needed a permitted garage put up, and you guys were able to do that for me at a good price. So
yeah, and actually, I had forgotten that detail, but you just brought it up. So what John actually did for you was he got the initial permit, did all the kind of the basics of the job, but at a later time, you're going to go back and do the interior drywall yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that was actually an interesting detail, though, because that's very rare that I don't hear about that very often. So your budget was restrictive in terms of what you wanted done, but we were still able to help you because you were willing to do some of the work yourself once we did the hard stuff, let's say.
Yeah. It's I just wanted it. I needed the basic, the garage, the working door, the wall. And obviously, I wanted to do it on a budget. And in all honesty, I do quite enjoy doing DIY myself. And if I can save a bit of money by doing it myself at the same time of enjoying it, then it's a win-win situation. So that's kind of how it worked out.
Yeah, and I remember your trade. You mentioned this to me, when we first talked. I also wanted to invite you to, if you'd like, to say a little bit more about the truck. The truck that was parked on the street. Do you want to? Do you know what I'm? Yeah, go ahead.
So, I'm an exterminator. I've been a pest control guy for almost 6 years now, and I got up in the morning about a month and a half ago to go to work. I have my packed lunch in my hand, ready to go, and kissed the lady goodbye and the kids, and then went outside, and I noticed my work truck was missing. So, after a few phone calls to the police and the boss, obviously, it was gone for 4 days, and showed up in the neighborhood again.
I didn't
off of it.
I didn't know that. I actually haven't talked to you. I didn't know that you got it back 4 days later with less of it there.
Yeah, it showed up on the Super Bowl night of all nights. My neighbor's neighbor came over and they said, "Hey, there's a agent's truck parked down the street." So I ran over there, and there it was, just parked on the corner. The hood was still hot, so it had just been parked there. And I looked inside, and it was it's the cleanest I've ever seen it, even since I've had it. But they left a pile of cigarettes in the middle, a frozen Slurpee Circle K drink with lipstick around the straw, and lipstick on the cigarettes. So I called the cops immediately, and they took those parts to do some DNA testing on it. So, but anyway, I got the truck back, but they took all the equipment, the boxes, the ladders, everything. The truck was still in good condition. They cleaned it up nicely. But it was probably most likely to cover up all the fingerprints and stuff like that. But
sure.
But they left lipstick on cigarettes and straw, so we were able to get a DNA sample regardless. So we're still waiting on the testing to come back for that. So, but the truck is back, and that's kind of what prompted me to definitely get a garage, because I live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but after that, it kind of made me question things. So I don't want my baby classic car to get stolen, so I'll never get another one if that one gets stolen. So.
Right. That story was way more exciting than I knew it was going to be, but the major connection was you know, the safety and security for your classic car was the same thing that you would have loved to have had in regard to your work truck. It just didn't work. You know, the timing didn't quite line up for us there, but
right.
So yeah,
it was the push I needed to go for the garage.
on a personal note, I'm sorry you lost some tools and whatever else you lost. I as I said, I haven't talked to you in a while, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it happens, unfortunately. So
yeah, that's okay. Well, so let's see. I did want to cover another issue that we're jumping around a little bit, but you had contacted us. Am I right that you contacted some other contractors about providing a conversion for you?
Yes, I did.
And just would you say a little bit about why you did not choose them?
The price wasn't right. They didn't sound very professional to what I would want to have heard. They were charging too much money and were very, very pushy to get the job done when I hadn't made up my mind yet or not. So that's why I chose you guys over them. So I told you guys what the situation was. And, obviously if I could, come up with the sufficient funds and not, mess up my emergency fund, then we could go ahead and do this. And, things turned out just how they should have done. And that's why we got it done. So that's why I chose you guys instead. So
Yeah. Well, I know that as I said, for us for one of the twists with your situation was to get the permit to start the process, and John actually didn't complete all of the interior sheetrock or drywall or whatever that's called. He didn't totally finish it because you said you would prefer to do it yourself. So
right.
That's a thing that I guess anybody else could do it, but just in terms of being attentive to what will work for you, there are a lot of companies who may say, this is what we do, and if you want that, let us know, and if not, then we don't want to talk to you, which I respect.
Right.
I respect that perspective, but it wasn't a very good match for you.
Right, exactly. So that worked out nicely for me. Like I said, I wanted to do all the interior myself and all that good stuff, and as long as you guys could get a permit and legally put up the minimum main thing, then that's all I wanted, and we're good to go. So.
And it was the sidewall, the front, framing out the front, installing the garage door, installing the opener. He did all the essentials, and then let's see. As far as once you decided to go ahead and hire John, tell me a little bit about was there anything surprising, good? How did things go once you elected to proceed?
It's good to go. Obviously he went out to get the permit. I believe it was going to be a Monday, but that Monday was off, so he said it should be, he'll get it, he'll apply for it on Tuesday, and it should be with us, I believe he said 5 or 6 days, and there was a slight hiccup on something where the city wasn't happy with, I think, I can't remember if on the drawings it didn't show exactly where the interior light was going to be. And something about the storage room or so. I can't remember the exact details. So it took about another week after the anticipated date of the start. But he called me on a Friday morning, last Friday morning, said, hey, all's good. You want us to start the garage tomorrow morning? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So he sent his, I believe it's his son and his best friend. They came out, and then they did an incredibly good job, extremely fast, and very, very cool people. So they did a great job. I was really impressed.
Well, I'm glad to hear that detail. As you know, you and I haven't talked. Well, you wouldn't know what John and I have discussed, but some of the stuff you're telling me I didn't know already, just to clarify, not that it's super important, but
sure.
As far as the written plans, now was that, what was the background on that? Was that something that you had written up and you just didn't know to put the electrical, or what was the situation there?
No, he wrote up the plans to take to the city.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say something if I'm saying something wrong, because I don't know obviously the full story of this. All I know off the top of my head is I believe it was something to do with the interior light switch, the location of it, and also the location or the size of the storage area that was going to be in the garage. It was something on those lines. So don't quote me if I'm wrong.
Well,
I believe it's something like that.
Yeah, I know what I heard from John, and given that there's more than a dozen different cities within the valley that he serves, I remember him making a specific comment about the specific city you live in and the process of getting the permit and I know that he was disappointed that they delayed things. I mean, I guess that's the really short way to put it, but that he was able to get them to approve it. And he, in a way, it's kind of a neat thing that he was willing to spend the extra time in their offices to get it done reasonably quickly, even though it was not as fast as you might have preferred. He told me a little bit about it, but I didn't know the detail about the light in the storage room. What I would say, just as an aside, is I've heard things about like the fire safety regulations for enclosed storage rooms that are inside a garage. There's different.
Sure.
I know there's different rules, so I don't know if it had anything to do with that or not.
It may. Like I said, don't quote me. I might have got my words muddled up or not been paying attention, but I believe it was something to do with that. But it was like I told him, I said, there's no rush. Just whenever you guys can start it. I'm not in a rush to get it done. So whatever works best for you guys will work for me. So yeah, it's no problem. It got done. It's good to go. So I believe we just gotta get the framework inspected, and then get the drywall done. Then I guess get that part inspected as well, and then I'm gonna paint it up, etc. And I guess we'll be good to go from there.
Yeah. When are you expecting to finish all of your parts of the process? Just within a month or two, or not that soon?
Oh well, I've got about 90% of the caulking done already. I was just running to Home Depot to buy some more.
So a week or something. Oh really?
I'm gonna get the paint codes matched up as well with some of the existing home paint, and probably get the paint at least brought, and then all I can do is wait for the inspection for the framework, and then as soon as that's done, then go ahead and start thinking about getting this drywall done. So it's sooner than later. I mean, I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get it started. So
very good. But you're thinking you could have everything done within a week or something, then, or two, right?
I give myself 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So, but. Yeah, it's just one of those, when I get home from work, I can mess around with it if I'm not babysitting the kids. So.
Yeah, how much time you can put in per day is a factor, right?
About 2 or 3 hours a day. So I kind of give myself probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Roughly.
No need to rush it. I was just asking in general, and then also I'm thinking, I always like to see pictures of the different stages and the final complete, completed project, including painted, everything to the full extent of things. But let's see. So you mentioned that they were fast. Did you have any? Do you have any comment on John's competence? Did you have any questions or?
No, they knew exactly what they were doing. It looks like they've been doing this for years. There was no question about it. They took care of it. They knew what they had to do. They came by. They had all the tools. Very professional. Very friendly, and they took care of it, and they did their thing. It was good to go. So no complaints at all.
Very good. Yeah, I wanted to kind of get you to say that, but I know I know some of his how long he's been doing these kind of things. I just thought I would see what feedback you had, and kind of I like to set it up where you give the kind of the spontaneous comment like you just did. What else do I want to add? Well, I guess another thing would be if somebody was. This is kind of one of my generic questions. If you knew somebody anywhere in Phoenix, Peoria, wherever it may be, if you knew somebody who was interested in enclosing their carport into a garage, how likely is it that you would recommend John?
100%, absolutely. I even told them I'd recommend them for sure.
Very good. Yeah, and let's see. I guess that's kind of what I have to cover. I have your email. I would like to email you, and then I'll go ahead and stop the recording here. But I would like to request that, I guess you're going to have pictures that are later stage than John, since he's not actually doing every last detail of it. And I would love to get